Hey guys, and welcome back. My name is Maria Roses. I play video games. Today we are continuing I Love My Follower Count. It's a game where you try to build a following as a god. I can't pronounce the god's name, but it's fine. It's on itch.io. As always, it will be linked in the description. Okay. Furries, follow up. Still intrigued, you end up doing more research about furries. It sours your mood to learn that cats are not the most popular species amongst them. Even dogs rate higher. I feel too tall. Speaking about dogs. Ugh, that guy. Something's up? Might need to focus more on my divine skills. I just remembered an unpleasant former acquaintance. Oh? My connection to the arcane. I meant your acquaintance about whom you speak with such disdain. Death. Please don't threaten me. I meant death. The god of death. Death. Not a fan? He's very annoying. Ew. Speaking about death, I must have found the right spot. Suddenly a man appears, or a woman, or neither, probably neither. Actually, who are you? Didn't anyone teach you how to knock? Greetings, a fellow seeker of life beyond death. I am Prodict of the Dreaded, an architect of the third of the seventh forbidden circles. Wow. 1 minute in and I'm already messing up. So which circle taught you not to knock? Well, it's probably a prospective follower, but thinking about death made you really annoyed. Word has reached me that here resides a master of death, one who can raise the deceased beyond simple animated corpses, while also retaining their intelligence and most of their habits. Most of them. I've been told zombies of this master sometimes get new habits, such as going to bed before midnight, brushing their teeth twice a day, and even drinking 8 glasses of water. I personally find this pointless, but they gain even more illusion of performance. Huh. So I have come to beg this master to teach me his ways. Finally, someone understands my genius. Oh, immortal master, is this truly your work? You could reach for the stars with your unparalleled skill. Imagine how mighty your armies can be. Whole kingdoms will be conquered, nations ruled. I don't like where this is headed. No, let him speak. Please, oh immortal master, if I could even have a tiny bit of your wisdom. First of all, I am a god, and you should address me as your lord. Oh, so you have reached the power to rival gods? No, I am literally a god, a deity. But I have worshipped death for centuries. Is this your new employee, my lord? Great. Dead Frenchman embarrass the living. Oh, Theodore is right. This is just great. Had to turn the music down, too loud for my brain. I am not death. That's the whole point. I'm the ruler of the power even death cannot comprehend. My name is Achogiptilip, the god of the undead and the void. I just felt like I just cursed myself, like they did in like Cabin in the Woods. Or wait, no, The Evil Dead. What am I talking about? Cabin in the Woods too. I think they have the option to do that. So if I get beat up by zombies, you'll know why. What happened to Aesoite? Shh, just enjoy it. Now will you abandon death and his teachings and worship me for eternity and beyond? Yes, I'll offer you my thoughts and prayers if you only bless me with some of your wisdom. Oh, the great Antifider, Antimahip. You shake your head. Your head's in mock disappointment. I am so sorry, my lord. Please help this one. I don't think lynches are good, so we're gonna say no. No. But why, O Lord? You're not devoted. You just abandoned one god for another. My church has no place for the feeble-minded and weak-willed. I understand. I will pray to you every night for 100 years. Would I have a chance then? Maybe. Thank you, O Lord. I will not disappoint you. I thought you wanted new followers, and they seem pretty enthusiastic. Was there another reason for rejecting them? They smelled gross, and I didn't like them. Do you think death will welcome them back? Please don't mention that guy again. I've had enough of him for today. Weekday routine. We're gonna do divine. Okay. You focus and try to feel what exactly being a human realm deity means. The fabric of reality also tries really hard to accommodate your powers and what you conceptually mean. We'll talk to Theodore today. Care for a movie? Sure. Some might call it slacking off your duties, but a deity should maintain close ties to their priest. Week 10. Online Miracles. Hello, chat. Ready for some miracles? Today, I'm going to read your minds live. No one is watching your stream yet. A whole hour later, you get a comment. Yes, it's not a scam, and I'm not stalking you. After all, your whole profile is boring and full of misattributed quotes about misery, suffering, and weapons. No mentions whatsoever of your favorite little colorful pony friend's Sunday morning cartoon. Although personally, I find it a much more fun thing to write long-ass rants about. No, I am not a hacker. I am God. Hey, fuck you too. Your lordship, are you busy? Not particularly, no. Oh, a shiny new mortal. Theodore sighs. You observe the young man accompanying him. Is he still a teenager or already an adult? Sometimes it's hard to tell. Yes, that's my student. I've had the misfortune of mentioning you once, and he's been constantly annoying me about you ever since. Well, you should have brought him here earlier, then. I am nothing if not benevolent. He's not even a real god, Prof. Please do not insult my deity like that. How would you like me to insult him, then? I'm sorry. Can I eat your annoying child? Please don't. I am right here. Okay. No eating annoying children. And what makes you think I'm not a real god, child? You don't even have a temple. You live on my teacher's couch. So this is what bothers him? You find yourself unable to remain offended. Some deities live in caves, or woods, or even caravans. What's your point? Actually, fair point. But your supposed powers also make no sense. How can you even do as a god of nothing? This is a joke, right? Nothing. The light flickers and crawls away from you as you infuse the word with your power. Ah, do you believe me now? That's even worse. Excuse me? What about our free will? Don't your miracles undermine our worth as a species? Instead of living on our own volition, we are bound to your whims. And if something goes awry, it only takes a timely sacrifice to the right divinity to magically undo it. It's even kind of amusing. How about resisting temptation to magically solve your problems, then? Also, don't confuse me for a vending machine. I can always refuse your shitty sacrifice. On a whim. No, of my own free will. And what if don't? You haven't let me finish. Yeah, no. Don't. The thing is, the afterlife is real. Divine mortality is real. It doesn't impose on your free will, though. You can't choose not to believe in any deities. You can choose not to believe in any deities, refuse their blessings, reject their punishments, embrace nihilism, and fade into nothingness. Aren't you the god of nothingness, then? Aren't you making a bad faith argument? Though, 5 minutes ago you were questioning the validity of my divinity. Anyway, no. I am not the god of nothingness. I'm the god of the void. And what is the void? Do you like chocolate eggs? My little brother does. Cool. So the void is the place where the plastic toy of those chocolate eggs reside, the moment after they're packed and before their capsule is opened. Hey, Prof. Yes? You are worshipping Salvador Zizik, aren't you? Get out. Aw, come on, Professor. Maybe we could have converted this young lost soul. Theodore groans. Not you too. Weekday routine. Alright, let's do... I don't have enough. Okay. You were there before. Of course you can stay here again. Every god needs followers. If no one prays to you, you might as well not exist. Post on social media. Hi, chat. I'm not an idol. I am a god, okay? They respond with praying emoji. Nice of them. Thank you for your donations to the Church of Asoite. Please attend our weekly digital services led by yours truly. I'm blessing all of your Doritos and Kerbin merch remotely. What? Philosophy follow-up. So you're not afraid of summoning eldritch horrors to this world. Enjoy a beer or two. And are apparently a professor? What do you do? I teach. Duh. Fair. Okay, I teach philosophy. Uh-huh. Fair. Most people also have that reaction. Anyway, yeah. I go to a place, bore kids to death with my impeccable speaking skills, and then leave. Once in a while, I have to produce a boring derivative article on some old-as fuck text that everyone and their Neoshit-obsessed mother has already overanalyzed. Truly, a life one can only dream of. I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or not. You know, it's funny. What exactly? You're supposed to be an eldritch horror, a mind unreachable and fundamentally inhumane. Kind of like that, yeah. But yet, the first thing you wanted to know about me was my occupation, as if we truly are defined by our labor. You know that I'm neither omnipotent nor omniscient. I'm not your capital G god that judges your objective worth. Only your subjective worth matters to me. Yeah, but I have another theory. Won't share right now, though. I need to sleep on it. Also, I didn't ask for your occupation to judge your character. I've been, living with you for a while now. I asked because your student kid made me think. I apologize again for whatever he said. He's an edgy one. I've heard from his usual professors that he walked into the databases and relative algebra class and screamed something about blockchain being the only true future and was escorted out. The stupidest part of that blockchain has nothing to do with the database structure. No, it's not about that. He said that I'm not a real god because I don't have a temple, so I've decided that we need to erect a temple in my name. Of course, you would be promoted to head priest. And how are we paying for your temple, my lord? I'll think about the specifics later. Alright. We're gonna save. I'm just worried about games crashing. Not that this game's crashed yet, but I've had bad luck sometimes. Okay. Post on social media. Sometimes, even you can't believe it works, but it does. Week 12. Spam emails. Dear Sir, I have been requested by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company to contact you for assistance in resolving a matter. Why are you reading spam emails? Why are you reading my spam emails? Was just passing by, saw the Nigerian Prince copy pasta, but really, why? They're nutritious. They're inspiring. Don't tell me you're seriously impressed. Honestly, if you fall for this, you deserve to be scammed. Anyway, you might be wise, experienced, and live a joyless existence, but this is my first time having seen this Nigerian prince thing. Don't ruin it for me. Okay. No ruining scam emails for my deity. Got it. Temple research. You sit down and think about your future temple. What do you want from it? What have other gods, goddesses, and horrors unimaginably done for their place of power? Maybe you need to ask around. The skies and the ruins, the closest this realm has to eternity. Heavens. The place where most gods spend their time. Ugh, what a hack. Ayo, ahoy, bucko! Are you talking to me? You betcha. In the same boat with you here, me not well so respected. I've been told me too young and fake for the proper kind anyways, eh? I've been trying to get it kind of accepted here for 20-something human years, but to no avail. First time seeing another non-human member, though. You open to collaborate? Maybe. More importantly, who are you? Me? I'm the flying spaghetti monster, of course. Monster, you say? Are you from the other realm? In a sense, yea. Most of the monsters amassed, the most abstract. Did you know the number of pirates is inversely proportional to the global temperature? And why do you care? Don't know, just a fun fact. Anyway, you said you're too young and fake? Well, I am definitely real and have outlived many a human. So what keeps you outside these gates, then? You survey the crimson skies. Maybe, because I am a real monster, that's why. The Phantom and its members will be there tomorrow, after all. Might be a good idea to pay more attention. In-law struggles. Behold my greatness, mortal. Oh, it's you again. Ready to convert to embrace my church and its teachings? Hi. That's not an answer. Anyway, did the knowledge I bestowed upon you help? Kind of. Is your friend home? I'll have you know, I got promoted to head priest of this humble church. Isn't being a friend more important? Depends. Determining one's self-worth through his own labor is capitalistic, not to mention ableist, but determining oneself through others is even more so pathetic, even in this economy. Anyway, what help can I offer to him that my God cannot? Yes, about this I have to apologize. Pardon? You were right. It was about us being gay. Bonding, using divine knowledge definitely helped. But even though now they don't hate me, they still disapprove of our relationship. And you still care because? I love her. Cute. Well, I can make them forget about their scorn towards same-sex attraction if you can manage to bring them here. No, I don't think you will. With all due respect, my lord. And I was just about to get offended. Okay, why do you think that? Their religious beliefs say that being gay is a grave sin, and I've heard that contradicting divine influences can end in disaster. They're not the nicest people, but I don't want them to suffer from that, you know? All right, you have a point. So what will you ask from your god? In fact, any divine authority can be safely overridden by a stronger deity's authority. But you're not even officially recognized by the pantheon. You probably don't stand a chance. Right, divine convictions can't be overridden using force, but can be challenged by people holding them. So I thought that maybe, and I deeply apologize for my sheer audacity beforehand. Oh damn, it's so improper. Stop mumbling and get to the point. You came here with a specific proposal in mind, so spit it out. With all due respect, my lord, could you pretend to be gay? Excuse me, what? Well, you didn't dismiss me when I first came, so I thought that maybe... I wasn't bothered, and I'm still not, to be honest. I do think language separates your kind from each other more than gender. Can I ask what you mean? Well, our guest here speaks English, and so does her girlfriend's father. If I showed both of them a picture of a toy soldier, they'd instantly recognize it by name. In that sense, their minds are more closely linked to that of her and her girl living above us. She's Chinese, by the way, a first-generation immigrant. For her, that toy has no significance whatsoever. Gotcha. You understood that? Yeah, pretty much. Could you please explain that for the layperson in the audience? It's your stupid G.I. Joes. Even if you were never a fan, you probably grew up surrounded by them, so whenever you see one, you remember your childhood. Like a boy next door would obsess over them, and offer to mow the lawn over summer vacation, just to get their hands on one. Kids in your pre-K class would all argue over having the coolest one, right? Right. Well, your mind is full of those little G.I. Joes. But they're just toys. I grew up in a place where we had neither pre-K nor a weird obsession with mowing the lawn. Most of us used public transport, and high school kids weren't allowed to drive. Honestly, when I learned that people here paid for cooking classes, I thought that meant something advanced. The likes of culinary school, not that fully grown adults struggle to make simple french fries. Why are you so mad at food? Because... He's lying. French fries aren't considered to be an easy recipe for home cooking. Are you reading my mind? No. How did you know then? When you summoned me, you mentioned you were French and that you were sorry for being one. Naturally, it was one of the first search terms I entered, and I was confused for a good few minutes. I asked myself, why would my first follower claim to be a sliced and deep-fried until golden root vegetable? Ah, did you want to maybe try some french fries? Why, you're offering me a taste of your soul? I am not a potato. I hope they make merch, and that's like one of it. That's cute. I'm teasing. Cute. What was that? Oh, right, your request, which is... You pretending to be gay. And this should help how? They'll see that real God supports same-sex relationships. Why can't you just mention Apollo? His tragic bisexual endeavors are well known enough. And how often does Apollo bless us mere mortals with his presence? We already tried this approach and it didn't do any good. Knowing something and seeing something with your own two eyes are very different things. And how would they, see and stuff? Well, can you publicly go on a date with another man, please? Let me guess. You would also want me to appear human, yes? I'll be honest. It's kind of hard to determine your gender because you're basically two cats in a suit. Okay, if I do this, you and your girlfriend will recognize me as your one and only deity of worship. You will send me your offerings, and you will promote me amongst your people. Sure. Uh-huh, and whom shall my god date? You, of course. Pardon? You are friends. I am his priest. Yes, you told me to find your new priesthood to be more of importance than friendship. Neither of you denied your friendship, and you live together, and you bicker like an old married couple. You're smarter than you look. I am in the middle of a war, after all. Okay. Your lordship, do you mind? Do you think publicly dating a mortal will make me look more approachable and humane in the eyes of the general public? Maybe. Then I don't mind. Please, dress nicely for our date. Are you going to dress nicely? Of course. I'm going to wear human skin, after all. Weekday routine. Yay, we get to see his little human person. Post on social media. Sometimes even you can't believe it works, but it does. Week 13. Pretend date. Well, you weren't kidding about dressing nicely. Although I must ask, it's not literally someone else's skin, right? I did not skin anyone and wear the skin as a pillowcase. The wind caresses your weirdly naked and oddly singular face. You feel quite serious and solemn. No, I mean, you didn't borrow someone else's facial appearance? Not really, no. This face is as much mine as my last two. Ah, dang. I've gathered enough knowledge of the human soul to make mine in my own image. It, too, reflects who I am. All right. It's a wacky fan fiction trope. Acknowledging it doesn't change the fact, though. You seem pretty upset about dating me, you know? I could get offended. No, it's not that. Do you know what fan fiction is? Fun fraction was that? Stories based on pre-existing stories. Take someone else's playground and use it in your heart's content. Ah. So every human secretly wants to be like me. Why? You too want to take someone else's realm and fuck with it, non? I only had the most academic of interests at heart. You know, the default position in today's society is that fanfiction is trashy and immature, and kinda lame for both the creators and the readers too. But that's just stupid. Okay. Those people don't care about art theory. They just want to hate on something. If you really apply the theory without the I hate teenage girls bias, the existence of fanfiction is amazing. Like, come on. At its core, fanfiction is a very postmodern thing, with the intention of derivativeness, spontaneous pluralisms, and unapologetic rejection of the idea of a great and universal meaning. Those are some big words, not gonna lie to you. Isn't it cool? Well, I thought you didn't enjoy being in a fanfiction trope as of right now. It feels pretty surreal, so I feel obligated to invoke meta-awareness. Then I realize that metafiction is still fiction. If you're truly a character in a story, there's no way for you to challenge this fact. Sorry I'm blabbering. Do you want to hold hands? By the way, you're supposed to blush over it. Can I refuse? I suppose. But we're on a date and under surveillance. Fair enough. You offer Theodore your hand. Oh, so cute. Human fingers are surprisingly flexible and intertwined naturally. Ah, you can see that I did that. Embarrassing. Monkeys with their stupid monkey bodies and lizard brains. Okay, so next step. We need to take a leisurely walk around and enjoy our time together. Publicly, the more affectionate we are, the better. You promptly walk for a few blocks. How does one feel affection? You can read our minds, can't you tell? I can tell that it's there. I don't really understand where it begins, though. One moment there is nothing, and then it suddenly exists. I have read stories, too. But even the most praised authors don't provide an answer. With other emotions, it's more formulaic, I think. You can pinpoint most of them to a singular cathartic event. If someone wrongs you, you feel hatred. If someone does something nice for you, you feel gratitude. And of course, human connection to the void is born out of loss. Normally, you humans don't realize you treasure something until you've lost it, because your minds are not equipped to deal with nothingness. So what makes you sometimes aware of love? Theodore suddenly stops and looks at you. A friend of mine once asked me the same, and I had answered that love is when you notice the small and insignificant things about another person, and those trivial things feel special. But that's not your point of reference, I guess. You can interpret love as treasuring someone or something so much that you fear losing them before it actually happens. A lot of people say love is both pleasure and pain. Thus, it's mourning something not lost yet. Suffering from the very fact of its finiteness. Finiteness. How can you tell this about myself? Observation, mostly. I do live with you. The hand in yours feels warm and soft. We have been circling around this district for hours now. Take me somewhere else. Do you have a specific location in mind? As a matter of fact, I do. Could you show me your favorite places around town? I like that he's like, I'm not into this. And he's like, I'm kind of into this. This is kind of nice. Weekday routine. I am now a human cat. Let's do compassion. Talk to Theodore. Care for a movie? Sure. Some might call it slacking off your duties, but a deity should remain close ties to their priest. Week 14. Not having much to do, you decide to meditate and connect to the abyss, seeing what others of your kind have to say. The abyss sends you a message. The message is, LOL, kitty. You swear to yourself that not a single living soul can learn. I have decided that... I need a website for my church. What? No show of enthusiasm? It's a lovely idea, but in this economy, do you know how much a software engineer costs? I miss my scholarship days. I was paid a shit ton just to attend classes and live like a king. Now I live like a moderately wealthy janitor. Fine. You need to figure out how to make imaginary numbers one day. Kitty, become human. Curious about the aftermath, you check the news. It's only proper for a beginner god to monitor his publicity, or so you think. 10 deities you didn't know were queer. How dare these mortals put you at a number 9, you hiss in displeasure. What's irritating your lordship today? Pretty sure I heard someone trying to learn heavy metal vocal techniques, so I wanted to check in with you. You show him the article. Don't worry, a lot of queer teenagers have already decided they want to stan you and be kitty keens. Here, they actually made a quiz based on this piece. Which queer god or goddess are you? Exactly. Whomst did you get? Ashamed to tell, but Apollo. Apparently, thinking about the Roman Empire often makes one qualify. How often do you think of the Roman Empire? Isn't he originally Greek? Yes, but the Romans didn't have their own alternative, so they imported Apollo as one. Damn, his love was a disaster, though. You click on the test. It asks you pointless questions about which song out of the repertoire of musicians you've never heard of is your favorite. I am literally me. You hiss again. Stupid test. Yes, this sound. Pretty unsettling, not gonna lie. I've never known that your human vocal cords can produce such a thing. By the way, why aren't you reverting back to your usual attire? I don't know. This one is also me, and it feels pretty comfortable. Touching fabric is way less unpleasant for once, so I might as well stick with it. It feels right, probably for some bullshit divine order reason. Divine order. We're gonna... The abyss. Sometimes, even you can't believe it works, but it does. The Frog Prince. Scared me. The door rings today. It's been an uneventful month, so you hope a new follower. A woman with a frog. Hello, I'm here to pray. Wow, jackpot. Go on, I am listening. Oh, I thought you were rather monster-like. Don't assume things about thy deities. She looks kind of scared, so you immediately back down. And here I thought it would make me look more approachable. So how can this singular, humble, eldritch god help you today? You observe the frog in her hands. My head priest is French. He might enjoy the meat, but I would ask you to refrain from such offerings next time. Oh, no, no. That's not an offering. It's my ex. Here, that's the offering. Her actual offering appears to be a piece of fabric. Upon closer examination, you identify it as preschooler-sized white dress. It tastes bitter and low-key spoiled. She wants to be a fairy once, because of course, but then... bleh. Is it bad? I'm sorry. I've heard you like sentimental pieces. Yes, I do. Yours is just soiled with bad associations. What happened? Did a fairy steal your firstborn? Kind of. So is this an insufficient offering? You sigh. I would really prefer something else. For example, that acrylic charm attached to your phone case. Actually, give me the case as well. But it's a limited edition. You came here to ask for a divine miracle, and yet you can't spare trinkets? I'm generous, but I am not cheap, you know. Right. Reluctantly, she gives you what you asked for. Oh, yes. Much better. The memories of her first convention are bubbly and fizzy, most notably joyous. They shine bright like the twin charms, purchased with the sole intent of being exchanged. A ritual of sorts. She and her best friend are dressed in impractical costumes of fictional space, blood-sacrificing, emperor-worshipping troops. So what's your request? I am sorry for trying to trick you. You see, I do have a grudge against fairies now. It was cheap of me trying to give you that dress as an offering. I know, and I always wanted to be blessed by a fairy. When I was a little girl, I refused to join any church and declared my allegiance to the fairies. But no one showed up, right? That wasn't until I met my boyfriend. Well, my ex-boyfriend, I guess. And here I was under the impression that your kind doesn't approve of relationships with non-sentient species. No, that's not a frog. You see, we started dating, like in high school. It was my first relationship, and every girl I knew told me men are trouble, that I should keep an eye on my future beau. Not allowing him to go fishing without supervision, and that his sport friends are gonna suck, stuff like that. Not sure I'm following, but go on. Well, I thought it was normal, not to feel much about the boy. So when Dave confessed to me, I agreed. I didn't feel any butterflies, but he was nice enough. My parents liked him fine, and he never made mean jokes about me or my friends. We moved together to another city, started and finished college, planned to marry and stuff. He never complained when I asked him not to go to any parties without me, and I thought we were doing fine, without any magical intervention or help. We were doing fine. Until a month ago, I found out that he was liking other girls' photos online, chatting with them, watching movies together online. Is that an issue? I don't know anymore, but I got pretty pissed. Everyone told me it was unacceptable, so I shouted at him and everything, even broke some tableware. And then, for the first fucking time, a fairy godmother made her entrance. Told me I was doing perfectly fine in life, so she never felt the need to interfere. Said if my Prince Charming was behaving unprincely towards me, it was a job for her, cursed him into a frog. And what's the condition? Every curse has a lifting condition. The true love's kiss, of course. Makes sense, right? So it didn't work. As you can see, no, it didn't. Semantics, probably, but should the love be mutual, or... I don't know. I don't know whether he loved me or if I was just convenient. And why do you care? He's not your prince. The charm didn't work. Well, some other princesses will lift the curse in your stead. I don't know. Maybe he deserved it. But will he be okay? Even if he cheated on me, I still don't want him to be eaten by your French friend or something. He likes his priest status more than his friend status. But speaking of your froggy problem, in some other god's will, the fairies are like clerks for them, so it would be rude of me to interfere and step on another deity's toes. What I can do for you is help you get over the dude. You can? Sure. You feel wronged and you feel deserved to be. Embrace that. You smile at her and whisper it to her consciousness. There's no need for you to feel guilty. Better? Oh, yes, kind of. Like, I feel justified? You'll find someone else more deserving, okay? You stand in the doorway and watch her throw the unfortunate frog away with a smile. Ah, that's your girl. I guess insight. I'm trying. I don't know what these really mean. Week 16. Acquired taste. As you adjust to your lack of fur, more limited vision, and other side effects of presenting as human-like, you discover many positive effects too. Pizza, apparently, does taste nice even when it's not an offering. A perfectly thin and crispy crust, baked to golden perfection, its edges are kissed with a delightful char that adds a hint of smokiness to every bite. Atop this canvas of culinary delight, a rich tapestry of flavors awaits. A generous layer of velvet tomato sauce, crafted from vine-ripened tomatoes and secret herbs, forms the base and offers a burst of vibrant tangy freshness. Next, a lavish blanket of the finest mozzarella cheese, carefully hand-pulled to achieve that perfect melt-in-your-mouth consistently, cascades over the sauce and creates a luxurious harmony. Yes, perfection. I can't help but feel disappointed. I am not eating calf brains and red wine sauce ever again. Okay. Let's try the other gods one. Shouldn't you be my subordinate? Barely clothed goddess asks you. The goddess of love, surrounded by flower petals and... Are those swords? You inquire about the swords. She tells you not to dig into her shameful past. The real thing. A red can in the kitchen catches your attention. You make a mental note that, nowadays, treasure chests are called fridges. Kidding. You're more intelligent than that. Hey, Theodore. Yes, your lordship? Is Santa Claus a god? The fairy godmother kind of is, I guess, so I'm not too sure anymore. I have good news, by the way. What's that? Death died? No. Remember that girl with homophobic in-laws? Of course. After all, that pretend date was kind of fun. Theodore brought you to the shore and introduced you to the local fish market. You were surprised his favorite place just became his favorite a few days ago. Well, you were surprised he had a favorite place there and didn't yearn for his home country somewhere far away. Anyway, she sent a message. Her girlfriend is also grateful and sent offerings. Neat. And what about their parents? Oh, they're having a crisis of faith. A thrifting obsessed catboy is a better god to his followers than Big J. Makes you think. Well, glad it worked out. Yeah, same. Hey, what would you say to just chill today? Maybe a movie and popcorn? Oh, I bought you more milk. Cute. Death approaches. You're lounging around, watching some B-tier movie when, well, darkness clouds and forms a small hurricane dead center on the carpet. Can you please stop doing that? The air smells like wet dog, irritating and horrible. Spare me, Ace Light. You know what you're doing. Do you not know how to knock? The Grim Reaper does not knock. I like that their eyes, that's cute. And you most certainly did not knock when you pulled dead souls back to life. I'm sorry, are you Death? I am Death. Guess what he is the god of. And yet, you still find yourself amusing, Aceoite. So there's Death in my living room, wearing sweatpants. Why are you wearing sweatpants, by the way? We always think the Grim Reaper rocks a black cloak and carries a scythe. Death half laughs, half barks. For all your study of wisdom, you remain blind, Theodore Octave Anizio. You know my name? I am Death. I await each one of you at the end of the road. Of course I know your name. Unlike your chosen patron god, Death does not discriminate. Excuse me. Are you going to deny being quite picky with your blessings, then? Mortals, should move on once their fate amongst the living burns out. You decide whose desires is good enough to convey the fates, but isn't it a privilege to know something worthy of desire in the first place? What do you want from me, Death? Should I atone for my sins and try my very best to die? You grin and give him a mock bow. Oh, this is so fun. You hate it. Probably doesn't send a good impression to observing mortals, but the only mortal there is Theodore, and he would have to understand. Stop resurrecting souls who have obtained peace. Asking you to stop this buffoonery is pointless. All souls, you mean? Your words, not mine. Why are you even at me? There's the goddess of your standard, garden variety necromancy, not to mention mortal mages with whom you sometimes make bargains with. And that's all fine, but you are specifically dead set on coming after me. Death approaches you. He has sharp teeth, absolutely peaceful manners, and almost pinpoint narrow pupils. They're nestled inside a vast sea of icy blue. Because I have been known much peace without your annoying little whispers. He whispers in your ear and vanishes. You exhale. Have I got this right? Death is a communist? I believe a better term would be a party pooper. You seem to have a lot of history together, huh? Admit it. In a sense, half of my domain is stepping on his toes, so, of course, he is meant to hate me. Death is a natural end to all things, and death is one of the oldest gods, while undeath was never meant to exist. Isn't life the anatomy for death? No, life is natural state before death. How do I explain that? You have a survival instinct, right? A wild beast dying off its own leg wants to survive against all odds. Undeath, on the other hand, is your average gamer moment when a dude wants to keep playing League of Legends so badly he dies in front of his PC 20-something hours later. Okay. Now imagine he doesn't die. That's undeath. Not to be confused with heroic sacrifice, of course. Weekday routine. Post social media. Temple research follow-up. Remember you wanted to move to a temple? Something like that, yes. Good news, we're moving in 4 weeks. And the bad news? My landlord is selling the place, so we are either moving or starving out on the streets. Can we improve your landlord's mood, mayhaps? No, it's not a person. It's a company, and those don't have souls. Anyways, could you please contribute to the deposit of the next place? I'm afraid that otherwise I would need to temporarily move back to my parents' place, and it's super uncomfy. You sigh. How old are you again? Who allowed you to teach? I'm just an associate professor. You can't be one right after grad school. It's not like there's a high demand for philosophy experts out there. But no, really? How old are you? What's your favorite color? If you had a superpower, what would it be? I am 27. My favorite color is hot pink. My superpower is to recognize 100 perfect first date questions list on the spot. There are 2 truths and 1 lie. I'll get you a Barbie. I don't know. Okay, I'll say it. Social media. Nice. Money, 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 money. Nom, 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 nom. That is from BoJack Horseman. I have heard him say that before. You lie down on a couch and think about your future temple. Golden statues, yes. Powerful air conditioners. An Italian chef. Even more couches. Fine, I'll need to search for some money. Money, money, money. Let's see, what are your options? Let's get into streaming. Cyber scams feel like I will have a bad end. Well, you've been doing alright with your digital followers recently. They can't offer real sacrifices anyway, so you might as well start accepting donations. Though you still wonder why streaming is a thing in the first place. What is the fun of watching other people do what you like? But you do need funds. I personally find it rather distasteful. Look who's trying to teach you. Jealous much? Fuck off, Cthulhu. You are an eldritch whore, not a hustler. Says the one who always dreaming. Do you need antidepressants? Maybe. You bring shame to all of us. Roll your eyes and disconnect from the abyss. So let's... I guess we'll do that one. Divinity can't be destroyed, but it can be lost. Give up willingly or altered. It is possible for new gods to appear here and there, that is, if new niche concepts call for them. Now that you have donation button, and one more donation button plus a regular subscription, you can get both prestige and prosperity points from being angry at Japanese cartoons. Academic integrity. Hey, Your Majesty? Well, look who's here. The best face of proud anti-clerical youth. Did you change your mind, young man? Can I ask for a favor even if I still theoretically oppose to divine rule? Sure. I am willing to hear you out. Out of my free will, mind you. Really? I didn't say I would help, but at least you can try to entertain me. What do you want? He gives you a sheepish smile. Can you tell me what Professor Anaziu likes? Does this annoying young brat have something for your priest? And why would you want to know that? Do you even mind sharing if you ask yourself? And more importantly, what do you even know about Theodore? I'm failing his class. At this point, I would appreciate any help and empathy by any measures. That answers your question, and something inside your chest loosens up. Share your knowledge. He likes fruity beer, retro video games in his hometown. Callie? The goddess of doom? No, the state of party people. I thought he's from there. France. He's from France. Can't help but laugh. I don't know how this knowledge will help you in the classroom, but I've shared what I could. Yeah, thanks, I guess. With that, he leaves. You shrug. Hey, I've seen my kid on the way here. What did he want? I have no idea. Oh, so he didn't come here? Maybe it's just a coincidence then. No, he did. I sent him off. Ah, gotcha. Should I have just been working on one thing? Is that... I don't know. Now that you have a donation button, blah, 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 we make money. Website follow-up. Once you set up streaming equipment, you remember that idea of having a website. How naive have you been? Despite the endless nature of the internet, most people frequent only big platforms. Disconnected interwebby is hard to find, like islands far away from the shore. Everyone naturally caters towards the content, trading independence for connection. Lyrics aside, a streaming platform is enough. Guess I'll just keep... Okay. You discover social media. Ah, shit, I should have done that first. All those people follow each other instead of following you. Preposterous. While one of your heads watches educational videos, the other definitely doesn't look at funny cat compilations. Now you can research other topics. How cool. The Frog Prince follow-up. That girl, the Frog Princess, sends you a message. She says she's found her true self and now lives happily in a kinky polycule. The fairy godmother must be ecstatic. So... STEM was the one I leveled up, yeah? Wow, they did what to an atom? You find an even better source of the void than social media. They're called image boards. Try to make money. I hope that works. Director's cut. At last, a new follower knocks on your door. Whoever they are, they reek of the void. Good evening. Please come in. What brings you here? My name is Zakia S. I came here to pray. If you didn't know any better, you would have said she came here not to pray, but to fight. Easy. By all means, go ahead. I hope you'd keep our conversation strictly confidential. If that's okay, then I'd like to proceed. Are you some kind of political figure? You don't know who I am? Baffling, isn't it? Do you know who I am? My assistant spoke to yours and scheduled a meeting. I've been told that you're a god specializing in pop culture. Just what exactly did Theodore tell them? You send them a very curious glance behind you. The glance jumps around and sneaks inside the apartment, searching for its target. I have told them to come whenever and bring some nostalgic personal pieces as an offering. Didn't really do any background checks, though. Please don't distract me. I have midterms papers to grade. Thank you. He doesn't come out of his room, but through the telepathic connection, you hear him loud and clear, and you still don't know who this lady is. I am not a god of pop culture, so I'd say we're even. What? How can you even help me then? Try me. Now, what is your request in your offering? I am a filmmaker. Here is my offering. The woman gives you an old, worn-out comic book and winces at the sight of you swallowing it whole. She used to love these stories once, tales of epic adventures and impeccable heroes. This love was the constant in her life, a big part of her identity. This love shaped her work, her professional journey, and her personal life up until the moment she took a look around herself. The realization that this love had left her long, long ago. She was left behind with nothing but a thin copper thread of resentment. I came to seek divine inspiration. Just curious, but why didn't you ask the patron deity of arts for this? I have been told his blessings are for real artists. Superhero blockbusters don't count. Only indie darlings of pretentious art holes. Fair. No, it isn't. Do you challenge the authority of the literal god of art? Yes. He is mistaken. Don't bother, I don't really care. Now, what is your struggle with? I have a contract and a deadline, and no idea what to do. Every idea I toy with just sounds pointless and dull. Nothing is worth writing about. Nothing is a perfectly fine thing to eulogize in thy craft. Kidding. Okay. Brute force it. Life is life, and living beings are prone to exhaustion and other unfortunate limitations. It is not that she is unable to create. Rather, she feels trapped by her own previous success. Too afraid to disappoint, it paralyzes her. It's a curse of every successful franchise. Hype up the continuation for long enough, and it will never deliver. It will always be not good enough. That's life. And you happen to have a solution. Give me your hands. You focus and pass a tiny part of your gift to her, the ability to reach for pleasure that is stronger than life itself. Here you go. Let me know how this works, okay? I've never tried to share it before. I don't know what to pick. The Abyss. That's my thing. Rent a scary place. Here. What's this? Money. Coins, really. It just fascinates me how you people value abstract numbers recorded somewhere more than physical precious metal nowadays. So I went to a bank and asked them to withdraw my funds in coins. Why? For fun. You forced your god to work and hustle. I deserve some payback. You are petty. It's adorable. Going full circle back to respectful. You probably ignored the statement. Anyway, since you're paying for the new place, it's only fitting that you can choose the design. Do you like any of these? Can I manifest my temple there? I have an image in mind. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I mean, it's your place. I didn't want to impose. We'll do more Abyss. That sounds right. Yeah. Temple acquisition. Finally, it's time to see your proper temple, the headquarters of your church, the sacred place of your name, rented or not. You feel fuller somehow, more accepted to this realm. It's both a rewarding and humiliating sensation of the divine order itself patting you on the head and commending you for following the rules. Do you mind? The Abyss sends a sense of visceral disgust in return. Fair, you think. Talk to Theodore. Care for a movie? Okay. Of course, this new place is so cool. It deserves a separate video. What clickbaity title can you add? It needs a lot of careful thought. So how about, hey mortals, come pray to me, cool, nya? Some things just work. Dragon slaying? So, based off Operation Secured, what's our next plan? Installing a sacrificial altar? Stalking lambs in the basement? Scouting for the lost artifacts? Slaying fearsome dragons? Do you really want to hunt overgrown lizards this much? Fire-breathing and badass-winged overgrown lizards with the longest lifespan amongst mortal beings, if you please. Endangered species on the brink of extinction. Why are you ruining this for me? Surely you must have some ancient treasures associated with you. What do you remember about the times you last walked this realm? Your hazy memories, disjointed from the idea of a time as a straight line, form images of white sand shores, the smell of salt and sage, of people in linen and wool who were on a journey and abandoned their homes forever, of pain in their hearts and hope in their eyes. Let us in. You wake up from your cozy afternoon nap because a certain someone is being too loud. Let us through the gates, Ash'al-Batilip. The abyss is calling for you, a part of the whole, a void inside the ultimate emptiness. Why do you call my name, priest of the old ones? Shua mi hopeless yardishap. Nishta blabla fladin. Cthulhu raildok shikko kikbu jeblagam. Refuse. Yahad will give you Try me. The call of the abyss gets cut off from that side. Shit. With some kind of historical laughter, you realize you relate to humans. Well, not all humans, but most humans, as you, too, have awful relatives. How does one even prepare for an unpleasant call, or even worse, an unwanted visit from an asshole relative? At least humans can technically go full no contact. You, unfortunately, cannot. Eldritch blood in your veins is the connection, and is slightly more potent than societal obligations. Well, if cousins Dareth show up, as a generous host, it is your duty to offer a warm welcome. The Pantheon is, technically, just an umbrella term for all gods of the human realm. If you qualify, you're part of the Pantheon. It's also the name of their little social club, and some deities are just now not welcome there. Gods from nature are deities who were there before humanity, like the sun, the thunder, or Mother Earth. That's pretty cool. Eldritch intervention. Of my blood and my name, extensions of my thoughts answer my call. I can't decide whether I'm sad because we've just bought this carpet, or if I'm excited because you did establish a sacrificial altar. What's the occasion? And why are you non-human again? Because we are probably fucked. Huh? Cthulhu called. He is envious and pretty pissed I get to work under these stars, while he and his masters are stuck in the abyss. The great old ones? Yes. You are aware that they will find the human realm to be their rightful home, yeah? But when I summoned you, you said eldritch horrors are alien to this realm, and that you are forced to mend into a human deity. Well, I was alone and disoriented. The Divine Order forced its rules down my throat before I even had a chance to react. If the great old ones make their great old entrance in full swing, the Divine Order could break down and this realm would be changed forever, men to their own desires. That means eradication of humanity, by the way. We are probably fucked. Did some wild suicide cult summon Cthulhu? No, it would have been worse for humanity. A little bit better for my consciousness, though. Did you summon Cthulhu? Not purposefully, and not yet. That doesn't sound reassuring. Ah, shit, this tense seriousness is killing you. Don't worry, I will happily die protecting you and your kind. You wipe a metaphorical tear. Do you believe in me? It didn't summon Cthulhu. I am, however, an eldritch horror native to the abyss. Ever so slight, I am still a tear in the fabric of reality. Cthulhu is a messenger of the great old ones, a scout of sorts. Hypothetically, he can follow me here. But he would have to appear alone and break the gap further for the others to pass through. If I managed to defeat him, it would render him inactive for a while and win time for reality to heal itself. If you manage to defeat him, and what if you won't? Then you're probably fucked. But in all seriousness, if that happens, you need to... Avenge you? No, stupid. Call Death. He would probably be able to land the final blow. I definitely can weaken Cthulhu enough for him to do that. I thought you hated Death. I don't hate you, though. Okay. Hey, Isoite, how do I even summon Death? How do you catch the attention of every god out there? Renounce my name and pray to him. Unlike most deities, he personally answers every call. Don't give me puppy eyes. I do dislike dogs. Cthulhu is just an icky octopus coward, always kneeling before someone more powerful and using his master's name as a shield, weapon, and bargaining chip. I'm going to be okay, alright? You and your army of minions. The majority of the pantheon is gods from thought, concepts first worshipped, then manifested. Before the first painting, there was no god of art. At some point in time, every culture had its own patron god of war. For example, when worlds collided, those deities realized they were always one with different names. Summon minions. You successfully summoned some minions. How many days is this? I forget. Alright, we're at an hour, so we're going to end. And if the ending is like 10 minutes, I'm going to lose my mind. But thank you guys so much for watching. We will finish this next week, hopefully. I swear, if it just ends right now, I'm going to be so upset. But yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. And maybe don't call Cthulhu over. Say, Daddy Cthulhu, no thanks. Alright, bye guys.